going down? The best in throwback hits radio, GFN Global TV Networks, Mighty Media TV. Be right back with the Empress Hour when we got the Empress and her special guest, Miss Sunshine Harris. And I can see the sun shining in, even though it's going down. What's going on, ladies?
What's going on, Wayne G? How
Uh,
are you?
you know how we do it.
Hello.
It's been a minute. You had a little trip and you went away and I
Yes,
mean,
yes, I did. I had a wonderful vacation. It was awesome. Had such big fun. Enjoyed my family and friends. Yeah, but I'm back, baby, and
recharge.
ready.
No doubt. So you got a special show
Recharged.
today, and it's going down, and it should really get the attention of the men and the women alike. Talk about it.
Absolutely. Welcome to the Empress Hour. I am your host, Shonda M. Parks, broadcasting live tonight at the Mighty Media TV Network, GFN Global TV. Hi, gratitude for tuning in tonight, and thank you so very kindly for your support. Go out and tell somebody about this broadcast. In fact, go out and tell everybody about this broadcast. Please like, share, and follow me at shondamparks.me. Yes, already. Well, honey, I'm going to tell you like this. This going to be a nice, steamy show. This subject broadcasting tonight is the power of twerking. And I am honored and I am amazed in this wonderful young lady who is here with me today, Miss Sunshine Harris. She has a wonderful scholar school that's called the Twerk Scholars, where you can get private lessons, you can have public classes and performances. And baby, she is good, let me tell you. And you know what? She is the first person, if I am not mistaken, I know for sure, here in Dallas that started a twerking fitness course. So, and from there, all the duplicators came in.
All the duplicators.
All duplicators. But she is a
Inspiration.
serial entrepreneur. Yes. Yeah, you inspired a lot of people, including myself, because I couldn't twerk. But baby, when you start teaching, I learned.
Yes, yes. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, and she is amazing dance instructor. So without any further ado, welcome Sunshine.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes. With Twerk Scholars, I helped my cousin and I, Kimari. We opened Twerk Scholars in about 2013. We were the first twerk class that I know of in the world. We just did an interview last week with some people from London that found us all the way from London, and that has been doing virtual lessons with us all the way since 2013. And we continue to grow and influence and inspire other people. And I'm super, super excited to be here and see all the things that we have to discuss. And
Yes.
twerking has really just grown and flourished since then. And that's really why we even started those twerk classes, because it was starting to kind of pique interest again, and people were asking questions. And we really wanted to be at the forefront of that, not only teaching twerking, but teaching the history and the culture of twerking as well. Because right when it was starting to peak, people were super interested in twerking, but there were so many connotations attached to it. So we wanted to help teach, and also not just how to do it, but the real history and origin of twerking.
Yes, absolutely. And I want to say that you have to be a brave soul, because when twerking first came out, it was like, ridicule, you were immoral, what's wrong with you girls, out here twerking in these contests and stuff. So, what I would like for you to do is just give us a brief explanation of your journey. Like, what was your discovery like, once you all decided that you wanted to teach twerking? What was that like for you?
Um, well, it was an exciting journey. But you're definitely right. We had definitely a lot of ups and downs and challenges. I remember in the beginning, I just was naturally skilled at twerking, and people would ask me like, "Oh, teach me how to do this and teach me how to do that." And luckily, I also was a trained professional dancer as well, like ballet dance, jazz, modern, whatever. And so I think that skill is what helped me to this day be able to teach twerking. There's just um, when you're a dance teacher, there's something that you learn, like how to look at the body and to see, identify the flaws. Not only that, being
Yes.
a professional dancer, people were looking at your flaws, like, girl, breaking it down on you, you know, you
Yes.
ain't doing this or this or
Yeah.
this or this, you know? So I think all of that is really what helps me to be able to say, I can break down this twerking and say, not only are you not doing it, but I could see what you're not doing. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And not only just see what you're not doing, but tell you how to modify and correct it. So early on, I was just teaching people in their living rooms and everywhere just how to twerk. Like, oh man, Sunshine can teach you. Like, yeah, girl, let's do it. You know.
Yes. Yes.
Then people were slowly telling me like, "Woo, this is a workout. You should put this together." And that's how it kind of came together. I was like, "Wow, you're right. We should teach these classes." And I super appreciate the Pan African Connection in Dallas because they are the first people that let me teach a class there. Because you are so correct. When I wanted to teach a twerk class, I reached out to so many dance studios, even parks or just any place, and no one was willing to allow me to have a twerk class.
Was that because they thought that it was too explicit or too sexual?
I do believe that, you know, twerking at that time had that sexual connotation or explicit, you know, energy. Even for, even when I tried to turn it into a twerk aerobics class, the word twerk I noticed is what would turn people off.
Or turn them on.
Or turn them on. Yeah. And even for me, I can say, like, I understand you being, like, not receptive to having too much sexual energy, because even for me, sometimes, you know, there's a desire to learn how to twerk, maybe not for a random man on the street, only for my man. You know what I mean?
Yes,
so
absolutely.
I totally understand.
Yeah.
But I totally appreciate them for, even to this day, I always shout them out and give them that appreciation, because even though I know they might have been hesitant or may not have known how it was gonna go, they let me have that safe space and opportunity for me and other women to not like be outside at some random park trying to twerk, but to say, you know,
while we're talking about Pan African, and we can definitely give them credit because I've done events there too and participated in events, so it has been a community organization that has allowed a lot of us to bring our crafts to them. So shout out to Pan African today.
Yes, ma'am. It's where I met you.
That's right.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Even the things that I talked briefly before about self-love and learning self-love and how to love myself. Even the things that are incorporated in twerk scholars, like we twerk to empower ourselves and to be self-confident. That's our motto. Our motto is to with the movement of the hips, we empower self-confidence and self-confidence and self-improvement, you know? And that meeting that I met you with at, that women's empowerment meeting, is what influenced that twerk scholars. That's right when I first started twerk scholars, to be able to say, look in the mirror and tell me these things that you love about yourself.
Yes.
And those are things that I implement in twerk scholars to this day, because that's what it's all about. It's not about shaking your body for anybody else or even looking like anybody else. It's all about utilizing all of this that is you, you know, to the best of your ability.
I think we really need that too, because the confidence in the female is very low. What I would like for us to talk about right now, let's talk about a little bit of the history. Because as I, began to do this, this whole thought process that I wanted to do this, so many things has happened to influence and also to identify to me that this is what I needed to do right now. I was able to find just a few things. If you can talk about it, I went back to New Orleans, where they call it the bounce. And I see you got a shirt on that says jiggle. Embrace the jiggle. And I also saw that jiggle, 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 jiggle booty, which is what they would say in Africa, in one of the tribes there. I think it was called the Mabuka. Are you familiar with that? A tribe that they actually call it the forbidden dance.
Okay.
And that the females are not able to do that dance out in public anymore because of just what we're talking about, the sexual energy, the sexual power that you get from that dance. And so talk to me about a little bit of the history that you teach in your classes.
Yes, ma'am. Twerking it became popular again with the Miley Cyrus era. I even to this day I look up popular dances for my kids to learn, and they'll say the Miley Cyrus twerk. I'm like, what is
Well, how
that?
does she get the twerk?
Yeah.
Well, how does she get to own it?
Exactly. And that's really what made us want to start these classes. Like, no, we have to do it now, because it's not so much that I'm just so anti-cultural appropriation. However, when you do put something at the forefront of something and you cultural appropriate it, and then you leave it there as this nasty, sexual, disgusting thing, it's important to come back and clarify that that's not what this is. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yes, absolutely. And I agree with you.
Yes, ma'am. So that's really what the main important thing was at that time, to clarify, like, this is not no freaky dance to just gyrate. It has a history. It has a culture. Somebody might have saw it and tried to emulate it. But,
Yes.
And that is why to this day you can have a 2-year-old baby that no one taught how to twerk that's probably gonna pop a little booty. You know what I'm trying to say? And it's nothing sexual to it. It's just it's a feeling. They talk about the beat, the rhythm, and it's something that is tied into African culture. And we all have a little beat to us.
When you hear that,
when you hear it, you jump a little bit. You might not hit it so perfectly. Your booty might not jiggle perfectly, but it's a natural energy.
Yes,
inside
it
of you.
is. Absolutely.
And that's really what twerking is all the way beat down to. When you talk about African dance classes, if you go to an African dance class, that's why I used to love African dance class when I was young, because I used to love to twerk. I used to be like, ooh, I can't wait. And then
but it wasn't called that, though.
It wasn't called twerking. No. It was just okay, so back to the history. People always ask, how do I know how to twerk so well? When I just say I had a ghetto mother that just said, get in the living room, girl. Let's
do what you do.
Let's break it down. We used to be just, and like you said, it was never called twerking or anything. And even at that time, it was never even a negative or sexualized thing. I remember even having talent shows, with like my cousins. And we all would get in the room. I don't remember men being there ever, but at the same time, we definitely used to do it, and it wasn't negative. But back to the history. So we really wanted to show that these things come from African culture. So not only do we specialize, like saying all twerking comes from African culture, but really almost all dances that make you move your hips go back to African culture. And a lot of those dances have been forbidden in their own places. So it's hard to go back and find the history for them. We went through an era where we did Venezuela, and Venezuela has a lot of Spanish people have a thing where they worship the big black booty. So there's I haven't heard of this tribe specifically yet, but I do like to explore different things because it's African diaspora, so it's so much to cover when you talk about the history of twerking and the history of just like African dance or African music.
Yeah, and I want to add though, but it's also here. It was here with the indigenous people here in this land too.
Yes, ma'am.
Because I mean, we're even though it's called twerking, they call it twerking now. But the female has always been moving her bottom, moving and isolating and moving different ways. So it's not new, but it's something dynamic.
It is.
It is awfully powerful. And I'm going to say that who perfected it? Who do you think perfected this? Because somewhere on this planet, it has been perfected. And who do you think perfected this?
What? I can't say who. I can't say who has perfected the twerking. But that's why I like to say it's a variety. Because if you look at certain African tribes, there's so much variety in the way they move their hips. I was saying earlier a little bit that natural movement in you, sometimes that natural movement in you, when you learn African dance, everything has a meaning. When you move your hands, that's for the harvest. I'm thankful for the harvest. I'm thankful for this harvest. It brings me my food.
Yes.
I'm thankful for the ground that all of that harvest comes from. That's why I get low. I'm low.
Yeah.
I'm low because I'm thankful for this earth, and I'm popping this pelvis because it's my womb, it's the creator, it's the life giver, and all of that. has reference. It has like it's relative to something. It's not like I'm just out here twerking it. And also, some dances were even for people that were coming out in age. Most twerking dances in African culture came out for women that were coming out in age and that were looking for a mate.
Mating.
Yes, ma'am. So that's why when I say
Yeah.
perfecting it, there's even no to say who's perfected, because even then during the tribe, it would be like, oh, that was Shangia that had perfected it. You know what I mean? There was levels of perfection each, time through. So it's
But
like,
you know what? But I must say that on that level, I guess I should have just said this, that for me, when I look at it and I see where the perfection come from, I'm gonna have to say that the strippers
Oh.
in this country had
Okay.
perfected the
Okay.
art, because they were the ones who were instrumental in it being expressed to the entire world. The influences of music, hip hop,
ma'am.
rappers throwing in money, everywhere, putting them in their videos and everything. So they bought it out. And also there's a way that the sisters in America twerk you're right. It's so many varieties of it. And the way that they do it, boy, here, I think the whole world has tried to copy the way that the sisters over here do it. So thanks to you, who was one of the first ones who do a twerking class, this is what we have here. So we're talking someone who is historical here.
Yes,
this is
ma'am.
Sunshine Harris, baby. You better know this name.
Yes. I feel like, it's a growing thing. It's a growing thing. I feel like the more you know, I think that's why American twerking is so extra, if you want to say.
And how about this? This is something else I thought about. It's very complex.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. Kind of like Chris Brown. He's such a good dancer.
Yes.
And then when you see him, sometimes the kids will be doing just a little old any dance, the whole whatever, one of those. But then Chris Brown comes and does it, and he just kills them. He just does it so easy.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's just what happens when you're well versed in dance, and I think that's what happens with African American girls. You've been dropping it like it's hot.
Yes.
You've been ching changing. I mean, what's it called? The chingy. So you've been doing all these things, and then you just kind of
you just got it.
Exactly.
I mean, back to the children, what you're talking about. We can see children now, and they can get down with it,
Yes.
and then it comes back to me saying, oh, how people say, oh, that child is out there doing that. They shouldn't be doing that dance, So now the forbidden part, back to the mating part, back to that part, that highly charged, highly sexual, because honestly, I twerk. But I twerk in private. I have twerked in public before now. I ain't gonna say I haven't. But it is something very powerful about being able to isolate that part of your body and just bounce it, just move it. Of course, I'm just a lightweight, but nevertheless, in my lightweight experience, I know that it is very powerful. And as a matter of fact, one of my Facebook friends said that twerking must give the female superpower. What you think about that?
I feel like it can work for you. It's what they say, with great power comes great responsibility.
Yes.
So let me say it like
yes,
that.
okay, already.
Yes,
yeah.
ma'am. Because sometimes people do think that because I teach twerking that I'm super pro twerk everywhere, twerk down the street, twerk to the school. And I'm a mother as well. And I'm not saying I believe in modesty. However, I did just say that when we talk about the origin of twerking, it is a mating call, if you want to say.
Yes.
So if I go to the club and I twerk all night and I am upset that people are coming to talk to me, it kind of contradicts.
That is a contradiction.
You know what I'm trying to say? And that's the only thing. I'm not saying you definitely have a superpower, but I mean...
But even a hero needs to know when to use the superpower.
Exactly.
So it's a superpower that a lot of females are using. I think that this whole idea of twerking has even the scholars confused.
It does.
Yeah, they don't really know how the rhythm of it goes. They don't know the different stances. Talk a little bit about the technical part that makes it so complex, but very very interesting.
Yes, ma'am. The last two classes I taught, they said, "Wow, this is kinesiology of twerking." And like I said, I contribute that back to like my dance history, but I really do have the ability to say the butt has so many muscles. You have that inner butt, and now I'm not really a kinesiologist, so I don't know the name of the actual muscles. But you know, you have the inner muscle of your butt, the top of your butt has a muscle, and the outside of your butt has a muscle. Everybody's booty is different. I'm a booty connoisseur now. I've been looking at all the booties, but
Wow.
you know, sometimes it just depends on where your muscle is strong.
Okay.
Sometimes maybe your inner booty muscle is strong. So some moves are really easy for you, but other moves aren't, and vice versa. But the biggest thing is, and that's why scholars are torn on it, and so many people I say over the age of 21. You know, you can say, so many people say, I used to be able to twerk, but I lost it. It is the ability to embrace the jiggle and relax. People are so worried about, is it this muscle? Is it that muscle? Is it this limb? Is it that?
Ooh,
And in reality,
embrace the jiggle, baby.
and that's really what I would like to talk to you about, because you're so with the feminine energy, but it's something that has happened with women after the age of 25 or something, that we start to clench our vaginas. It's something that I don't know if we don't feel safe in the world, or if we feel like we have to be the man. And I do know, like we were just talking, sometimes there's not a good balance of feminine, masculine energy, but I can say that's the biggest challenge for every single woman that's learning how to twerk, is the inability to embrace your jiggle. And then that's why I don't like this new thing in society that's like, I call it the free hoe movement. I know. I'm sorry. But
Oh, let me write that down so we can really get to that one. Free hoe movement.
the
You heard
free
that
hoe
right.
movement. Because it's like this. If you can post so many pictures naked all day, and people can like it thousands of times, but if you don't like it, it don't matter.
I agree.
And that's what we end up getting into when we get down to this twerking. You can tell that internal stuff. You can tell
Yes.
that internal feminine energy that's caught up in there.
Yes.
Because it don't matter if 10,000 men say they like that jiggle, because that's the new thing now. Men are saying, we like it big. We like it big, girl. We
Yeah.
like it. Get bigger. Get bigger. And then you're getting bigger, and you're saying, he said he like it, but when you look in the mirror, you don't like it.
Right.
And I don't care. I'm not saying one thing is good or bad, because I'm pro jiggle. Sometimes people look at me and think, oh, she's going to judge me because I'm fit. Honestly, God did something to me. He made me skinny. He made me envious. He made me, I'd be like, if I had just a little more jiggle, okay? But hey, you know, but the thing about it is like, you have to love it. And when you don't love it, it comes out in the jiggle. It comes out when you shake. It comes out when you can't shake. You know, because
Now,
you're not comfortable with the jiggle. You don't like the way it feels. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's too bad.
Yeah.
That really is too bad. And I want to ask you, this is a very difficult question that I want to ask you. And please, I hope you don't feel offended by it.
Yeah.
But how is it that you have not adhered to altering your body, considering that there are a lot of females out here who shaking it and who now teaching it and who now they fitness trainers and everything, but they have gone on a complete alteration. You look just as fine today that you did when I met you almost 10 years ago. So how is it that you have been able to maintain yourself and still have dignity and confidence in what you do?
That is a wonderful question, especially in relation to this. I'm to my standard, I'm less fine than when you met me 10 years ago. You know, I had 2 babies back to back, and I feel like it took away all my muscle tone, took away all my butt, my body, my curves. Sometimes it blesses people the opposite way, but like I said, I don't know, I got a little thing going on with the universe trying to teach me humility or something, but it did the opposite for me. And it was even really hard still teaching these classes. Honestly, what I was talking about, making those TikToks and videos, it was very intimidating for me because I get to classes even to this day and people say, "You the teacher?"
Wow.
You know? And then we always have a great experience, you know, but it's just that initial expectation, you know.
Then
But
they be expecting you to come in there, balloon, balloon, boompa la koompa. Yeah, pop that thing, girl.
They do. They expect me to. And I'm not, even with that, there's no pros and cons, but I can say that having a big booty isn't a guarantee that you can twerk. Sometimes I call it a pro and con because the big booty is heavy.
Yes,
And you
it's
have to
heavy.
know how to work it. You have to know how to throw it, and you have to know how to tell it what to do when you telling it to do it. Because sometimes you telling it to clap, but it's going in a circle. You have to be like, no. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's pros and cons of having that big old booty. But for me, like I said, back to that time that I met you and those principles that twerk scholars were built on, that the movement of the hips to build that self-confidence and to boost your feminine energy is what helps me stay the same while I'm teaching classes.
Okay.
I go to teach classes, and I was very self-conscious in the beginning. I mean, my booty had gotten so small and flat. I mean, it was so hard to jiggle it, you know? But it helped me to be able to help other people with even smaller booties than mine to say, hey, girl, I'm working this thing. People get in class and say, I don't got no butt. I'd be like, girl, if this thing going, you can get that thing going.
Yes,
Okay?
yes.
But also on top of that, to say when girls feel like they're too big, that your idea of beauty or opposite of beauty is relative, because what you working with, I wish I had. And you looking at me wishing you had it. And the grass is just always greener on the other side. But you ain't never gonna jiggle it good until you love this jiggle right here. You know what I'm trying to say?
I do.
And that's what really has helped me with Twerk Scholars. I feel like it's my motto, and it's what helps me continue to help other women as we all embrace our jiggle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and so is there like special things that you
Not
think
to
people
go
should
against
do?
anyone that has altered, you know.
Yeah, I know. I'm not
Yes,
even.
ma'am.
It's not even about them, you know, in terms of they did something wrong or right. No, it is what it is.
No,
If
no,
that's
I'm
what they
just
wanted
saying.
to do.
I don't think you don't love yourself when you alter your body.
Okay.
You know, that's all I'm
Yeah.
trying to say. I feel like maximize your fun, maximize your physical experience, and that's on you. You know what I'm trying to say? But
I
it's,
do.
It's a big problem now, too. I did a BBL party. The problem is that when you still look in the mirror and think you're big, it doesn't matter.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You still look in the mirror and you see this big old booty. Somebody, 1,000 people told you it looked good, but you still don't
right.
confidently feel that way, and that's the problem.
And I see a lot of that. I mean,
Exactly.
because really, once you study people and you start looking at them, you could see the confidence in how they behave. And as you said, you know, when they come to your course, how even if you can't dance, your confidence is going to come out, you know, in you, or your lack of confidence is
Yes,
going to come
ma'am.
out.
Yes,
Because I
ma'am.
know with me, like with dancing, I kind of almost have like a little offbeat type of move that it hits me every now and then. I guess that little white girl part of me. Excuse me, y'all.
Becky.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Becky.
I mean, you know, there's
You know what
an
I'm
upbeat
saying?
and a downbeat.
It is
You
an
just can't
upbeat,
call
yeah.
it other
Yeah, I
beat.
get caught up in the beat
Yeah.
sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And what I noticed that is over time, I would not participate in dance classes because of that, because I didn't have that confidence, you know, to do that. So, but now I don't care. It's okay. You know, I just do it anyway, you
Yes,
know,
ma'am.
because there's something extraordinary about moving your body. So talk to us about the benefits of what happens when you isolate and what happens in the effects. How does it affect the butt, the back? Because the lower back is a huge problem with a lot of people. So what you
Yes, ma'am. Wow. Okay. Yes, twerking is such a benefit for your body. Sometimes people look at it just like it's like this sexual thing. And back to what you were saying about teaching classes in the beginning, sometimes I would invite people. I knew 2 girls that taught heels classes, and I would say, hey, girl, come to my class sometimes. I would go to their classes, and then one girl actually told me, like, no, girl, I'm a little too classy for that. And the thing about it is
Bet she twerking in the bedroom.
it's
No?
unfortunate because heels classes are the most sexual, I'm about to get down and suck you up, old classes. You know what I'm trying to
Wow.
say? But it's just perception sometimes.
Yeah.
But twerking is a full body workout, number one, straight up. I mean, it's so ridiculous how many people get overwhelmed at twerk class that think that it's gonna be just like, oh, you know, people say, should I wear my heels? I'll be like, girl, I mean, if you bring some sneakers just in case, because it's definitely a full body workout, cardio and everything. You know,
Okay.
you're gonna work your arms, you're gonna definitely work your waistline and everything. Now I do incorporate a little arms because that's the only thing that I would have to add. But I mean, if you twerked to a song every day and made yourself sweat like you want to make some money, you'll be fine. You know?
Like you want to make some money.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
heard
Because
it,
sometimes,
baby.
you know, you just be in there just
Yeah.
dancing, but nah, you need to.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
But it's so good for your lower back. You know, you said I can
Yes,
demonstrate a little bit.
honey, yes,
Yes,
please,
okay.
come on. You can show us some proper techniques here right now.
Because, okay, so
You seeing good?
you want to tuck it in and then stick it out. A lot of times you're working with your back. That I can understand why you feel like it's not beneficial to your back.
Yes.
But if you simply move that pelvis backwards and forward, backwards and forward.
Yes.
Just
Backwards and forward.
Daddy can't wait till you get home.
See there, you can't even help it.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
It's so sexually charged at the
you know.
moment that you do it. My turn now.
yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. Go ahead. Let me see. Let's see.
Yeah.
All right.
Working through that back.
Here we go.
Working through the back.
Oh, you say. Back
Yes. Yes.
and down.
Yes, ma'am. Don't you feel that stretch in your back?
Yeah, you do.
It's such a stretch in your back, okay? It's such a stretch just elongating.
Don't get
Sometimes
him no heart attacks.
Oh.
Y'all ain't take your heart medicine. You better get offline.
Hey, this is an adult show.
And-
And
and I mean, you know, it don't have a heart attack yet because it just started. now.
it's just getting
Okay.
started.
Yeah.
What you talking about?
But it's so good for your back. You know, I had a guy that had appendicitis. They took his appendix out, and we used to joke all the time. But I showed him those movements,
Yes.
and he was saying how they helped his back and his pain so much. I tell men all the time, there is one older woman that I do private lessons with, and she tells me and her husband all the time that she's just doing the classes for her back. I mean, hey, I don't know if she's lying or she's telling the truth, but hey, you know what I mean?
She must be getting results.
Exactly. You know, so, and then not only that, when we stretch, I try to incorporate everything that we may run into that we
Okay.
will, you know, because twerking, you're going to stretch out your thighs, your hamstrings, your butt even. Your butt gets a little tight. Like you said, your lower back. But your lower back and your pelvis are the tightest things that we as women, like I said, you'll be like, well, I used to could twerk when I was 25 or when I was younger. And we just stopped doing small things kind of like this. You know what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say? We stopped doing those
Yeah.
those simple stretches that we used to do when we were younger, and your hips are tight and your lower back is tight. And that's also when we get to having classes where I do like to just say this is affecting your sex life as well.
Yeah, it
because
is.
if you can't just grind on it, roll on it, whatever you like to do,
Right.
then you're not getting no pleasure. You're not getting the pleasure at your own, you know,
Maximum pleasure.
or at your own say so. You're like receiving the pleasure, maybe, I don't know, but you're not taking it into your own hands
Right.
to say, I'm about to make this happen for
And
myself.
you said that one of my friends today told me, he said that the thing that he liked about looking at females who can twerk is that now he know they're not going to be a dead fish in the bed. You know, they're going to have some movement. They're going to do something. And that is something that, you know, a lot of females are kind of like dead in the bed, so to speak. But so everybody want to look at the twerking, though. You know, I mean, my grandsons. It's so crazy. It don't even matter. As when I was looking at different videos and stuff, I had to take my computer and move it around and say, "Would you boys get away from here?" Oh my goodness, it was amazing how they was trying to look at every video that I was looking at. They wanted to see, baby. They wanted to see. So that sexualized that energy. They, even though right now they're not necessarily interested in sex, but they know that it's an energy. You know, they know that it arouses you to see that no matter what, you get aroused.
It's like creation. Like I was saying, that womb, that's the creator. And then that's why I love to go back to we talk about ignorant mindsets, Western mindsets, or whatever the case may be. And when you only sexualize a certain thing, but that's why maybe when a man does forward pelvic thrusts in America or in a more Western set, someone may laugh. But most brown cultures, that's a part of the man's dance. Even when you look at Jamaican dance, it's not just the woman twerking. The man
That's
is
right.
all up on that thing.
That's right.
He's
He's
doing his
moving.
own.
Uh-huh.
He's about twerking just as much as she is.
That's
You know.
right.
So it's kind of like,
But that's not here in Western culture in this country. That's not so much because now when you go out in the clubs, the men are standing around.
no, that's what I mean. I'm
Yeah.
saying like, so yeah, on a Western side, when you see a man doing a pelvic thrust or something, you may judge him, but it's really just. It's a life thing. It's a creation thing.
Yeah.
We're just all out here like,
Yeah.
doing this dance and celebrating like life. Like, hey, I'm excited. Whoa. And then if I see her doing that thing, maybe that brings out, a thing to me. I listened to this show that was talking about the history of black music, jazz, and how so many of the rappers argue about whose flow is whose flow. But it was talking about how jazz is the originator of call and response music.
Yes,
How,
this is true.
maybe somebody says, I was on the throne, and then there's a ad lib. You know what I'm trying to say? It's like call and response, and they say that comes from black culture no matter what.
Yes.
You can say you're the originator in Dallas or Atlanta, but it's really just all running through your
But aren't we talking
blood.
about the same thing with twerking? I mean, over time, it's been called something different.
Yes, ma'am.
So everything is like that. This is nothing new, no exception.
Exactly.
And I think that the heightened part of twerking right now is from which it exploded. Because it exploded in one of the richest areas in society, hip hop, with men who had enough money to buy her off the pole and bring her home and make her his wife. You know what I'm saying? And we got some stories of those girls. We can talk. I mean, Cardi B is one of those persons that, and she talk about her history publicly, and that's where she came from. And so she didn't toss that ass enough to get her millions. So
that's also that's an awesome topic you were saying, because back to what you're saying about strippers mastering twerking. I do disagree, because strippers don't twerk. Strippers climb the pole, and it's no disrespect. I love strippers, but a lot of strippers don't twerk. A lot of strippers have big booties.
yes, that's true. What would you call what they doing? I mean, because I do see, a lot of them when they getting their money, baby, that's what they
You know what? I used to be a stripper when I was much younger. And I can say that I saw stripping culture changing at that time. And it's just goes along with society. I like to see how things are happening.
Well,
stripping culture
it
has
definitely had changed, because as you talk about, I mean, I know y'all don't know this, but I used to be one too when I was in New York in my early 20s.
it's gotten less feminine.
It is less feminine, because matter of fact, at that time in that industry, I lived in New York. It was no clothes, and it was mostly dancing. It was mostly expression.
It's sensual.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, it was mostly that, but that's not the case now. It's not that much of that, but it's back to what you were saying, on the pole, and then a little, they get a.
Honestly,
get
when
some
they
of that
twerk,
in.
they rap, and it's something that I personally don't like about
Okay.
strip clubs currently. I even like feminine energy. I like to be like, dang girl, you fine, you working that thing. And I don't have that energy when I'm at the strip club.
That's not good.
And it's been that way for a little while to me. And it's just like I was saying, I like to identify things that are happening all in culture all around. And it's one of those things where feminine energy and masculine energy are switching. And I don't know who would want a stripper that's rapping the whole song, but hey, y'all going to go see them, and
They
then
are. And not only
and they
that, a
keep
lot of them
rapping the
don't even like
songs.
men. So
Exactly. So
look at
it's
that
kind
contradiction.
it's just a whole kind of thing to me, that I noticed. But stripper culture has become very popular, but it's new masculine stripper culture. It's not like the way strippers used to be.
Now we were talking about the sway,
Exactly.
the sensual movement, Well, we just got to, that's the part we do in private now.
Yeah, and even, so it's hard to say about strippers and because even Cardi B and Nicki Minaj, that's the thing that they say about them sometimes when they have the music videos and they showing that thing, but it's not twerking it.
Yeah.
They're not moving it.
Well, you're
You know what
talking
I'm
about
saying?
them, and I have while we're talking about celebrities, all right, there's two celebrities that I want to talk about. Well, one is not really a celebrity, but Senator Mack. You just saw her video.
I did.
And Senator
just
Mack
saw that.
say, ass, vote for Senator Mack. And she did a headstand.
You know what? Before we go any further, I want to give her props for that.
Baby, I'm telling you, that's not
challenging.
easy.
It's challenging to do a headstand, period.
Yep.
Let alone, twerk while you're doing it,
Oh, yeah. Now, I can do a headstand, but I haven't tried twerking doing a handstand.
Yeah,
That's
see,
going to be
I
a whole
can't.
nother
I-
rhythm.
I
I
cannot.
don't know if I can do it, but it's worth a try.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Well, I know you probably can do it. I'm sure you can.
Ooh,
Try
girl,
it.
honey,
Yeah,
come on.
I'm sure you
I'm
can.
going to have to try it now.
Especially, But yeah, regarding, I was just about to say, especially the way Senator Mack was doing it.
Man,
because
Senator Mack was getting down.
She was getting down. But personally, I don't like to share, because who's to say? But hey, we're in a new society right now, and it's just interesting to see how everything is flowing. I personally didn't like it. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because it wasn't classy. I'm a classy lady. I twerk and I'm a classy lady, and I feel like if you want to make it promotional, make it promotional. But that wasn't promotional. I feel like if you're a senator and you also twerk, then do that. Be you. But why you gotta combine them?
Yeah.
If you want to make this a promotion, though, then make it a promotion. And that's just how I feel. To me, they're not relative. It would be like me doing the same thing and then saying, I'm a mother.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what she said.
It had no
Senator Mack.
relation. Not only that, even though props to a headstand, she could have practiced that a little better because it wasn't looking that good. I mean, it was looking good like I can't do it, she can't do it, but it wasn't looking good like I got all these skills and it's a little sad because I didn't know what it was regarding, but I have seen them legs up in the air with the booty in a lot of memes. And that's just what I'm trying to say.
Oh, you already had saw the
I didn't
legs
know what
and the memes.
I
You
just
didn't know
seen
it
the
was her?
booty and the legs. I didn't know what it was about. And that's all I'm trying to say. Like, at least have it looking like,
Yeah.
a little more like
Yeah.
this is a promotion.
Yeah.
And so that's all I have to say about it.
So, in just talking about her real quick, I will say that for me, I think that if she want to twerk, that's okay, because I'm not bound by a lot of the rules and regulations that they have in society now.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that it was inappropriate for such a position.
Exactly.
As a senator. A senator is a major position that plays in our lives. And to me, I don't think it appears as if she didn't take it seriously.
Seems like she's playing, like you said.
Yeah, like she's playing. Right. Yeah, like she's
And-
playing. This is a very serious position that she's in.
Exactly. And I'm not people like to judge and I'm not saying, I don't know if she's Democrat or Republican.
She's
but
Democrat.
People like to judge Republicans and say, oh, they're so serious and they're so this. Like the last Republican lady that was going viral because she had that bus that said guns, babies, and Jesus. But hey, you might laugh at that, but she's serious about it. Guns, babies, and Jesus around here. Okay? I don't know what Senator Mack's talking about. Twerking? I don't get it.
No,
Tell me something.
I would say that it was totally inappropriate.
You know what I'm trying to say? That's all I'm saying.
And also, it's an important position. And then I think about the message that she's delivering to the younger people. So what is this? You can do anything that you
Well,
want in the world.
That's why we're in a country that is where it's at right now, because we do not have leadership. There's no leadership. So when there's no leadership, they're going to do exactly what the young kids, we trying to get them to stop doing. You go on TikTok and everything. Everywhere you see a woman walking, showing her booty, like that's her most powerful thing she have to offer into the world. So now our people at the top, they should be schooling our younger women and say, hey, listen, I got here because of my brains, not because my booty was big. They not there. They doing the same thing. So it's the leadership.
And not only is it the leadership, because you're so right, it's definitely the leadership, but it's self-respect.
Right.
And self-love in yourself and viewing yourself as a leader and knowing what you're leading, and having just a concept of those things. Because at a certain point, that's why I don't like the way this new society is going with this cancel culture. And I call it black bullying, because this new Black Lives Matter initiative, it's an awesome intent. But I don't like the new black bullying where we can't speak on, or like to say, if another white senator felt like that was inappropriate, he can't speak on that because she's black.
Right.
I don't like that.
Or
that's
gay,
that new,
'cause
or
she's
gay.
gay too.
Exactly.
Right.
That's that new black bullying.
Yeah.
And that's what leads our society into just shambles and trash, because, I can cancel you and call you racist, but you can't say anything to me because I'm black.
Yes.
And I'm not saying anything about you being black at all.
No, and she was just totally inappropriate.
So
we're going to move on. And I don't know if you saw this one, but Erykah Badu went on a stage with Meg Thee Stallion, and she ripped off her jacket and she got up there and twerked, baby, and she did her thing. She even went all the way down.
Yeah,
boy.
Erykah Badu got a nice booty.
Yeah, she do. She do got a nice booty. The whole world knows she got a nice booty,
Yeah, she
right?
be covering it up.
Yeah, now she do.
Yeah.
Which is amazing because at first, you walk down the damn avenue with nothing on, and now she covering her ass up.
I feel like even with stuff like that, you never know. Sometimes people go through things.
This is true. Where she is today is probably not where she was then.
Exactly.
And also I'll say that it's in consideration to what you were saying earlier about, yes, I'm a mother, so I'm not gonna go to my children's school and they having lunch and jump up on the damn table and start twerking. That's inappropriate.
Exactly.
And so I'm sure that she probably has a different time. She in a different time and place. Anyway, she's 51 years old. She can do whatever the hell she want to do. And even people want to hold everybody by these gigantic moral standards. But I do not think that twerking is a immoral act. And a lot of people think that it's an immoral act. Oh my goodness, but I'm going to tell you something. I ain't never seen a man in my life turn away from somebody that's twerking. I haven't seen that yet. Oh, I'm so disgusted by that. I'm leaving here. Hell no. I've never seen that. Still want to stay there. Even if he don't like her, but he see what she doing, because the energy is so powerful that you want to see. You get wrapped up in the energy of just looking. That's a hell of an energy.
Yes, ma'am.
Erykah Badu had been dancing with, was on stage with Lil' Kim too, boy. She been shaking it.
Yes.
Shaking, baby.
You know what? I think even like what you're talking about with Erykah Badu and the transition, and that's why it's so good to be conscious of yourself and why I just have questions about this Senator Mac video. I don't like to judge it, but I have questions. And the main question is the intent. And something we learn as women, as we grow up, is, what do I want to attract? Do I want to attract somebody that's interested in me or that's interested in my butt, like you were just saying? And so many people are interested in your butt. I mean, like you said.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, if you in a room full of men.
I'm about to make me a booty song. You ready, Wayne? Booty, booty, booty. Yeah. Booty, booty, booty. Yeah. Come on. come on, let's do that thing. Just twerk that booty, baby.
Cause that's all you need is booty.
That's
Booty. They got
all,
that
right?
song that say ass, 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 ass.
Yeah.
But you know.
Oh, you got me sweating over here, girl.
Cause I mean.
Okay, come on.
Booty.
Yeah. Go around right here. The best in throwback hits. That's how we do it right
Yeah.
here. GFN Radio Soul. You never know when you see an ass twerking in your face. So make sure you tune in. We don't warn you.
The Empress Hour.
Yes.
It's going down.
In the house with Sunshine Harris today.
Yes.
Twerk Scholars. Yeah.
Hey,
Go ahead.
make sure before we shut down, she give all the information on how
Yes.
to get the people to contact you. There's a lot of stiff women out there really need your help. I've seen them personally.
Yes, I can help all the ladies pop that booty fluidly, flowing.
Give your information, love.
And
Okay.
I'm coming to your next class.
Okay, it's Twerk Scholars. Like you're a scholar of twerking. You can find me at Twerk Scholars. You can just Google it. Twerkscholars.info at Twerk Scholars. Twerkscholars@gmail.com. Twerk Scholars on TikTok. Twerk Scholars on Instagram. So it's Twerk Scholars. We're branded very well.
You can't miss it.
Awesome.
Yes, yes.
And you're
yes.
a scholar. It's spelled all traditionally. Twerk, TWERKSCHOLARS.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, before we go, then here we go. All right, so I want to just put 3 points to you real quick and just tell me, just give it to me however you want to. Okay, shape shifting as far as twerking. What do you think of when I say shape shifting?
A succubus?
All right. Okay. Were you talking about early, like babies, sex, hit it, get it, baby? What you think about those words?
Yeah. Am I doing it right? Am I losing?
And okay, and so do you think that when people see twerking, they go, "What the
Hell?
yeah, hell yeah"? What the hell is them shenanigans, baby? Oh
they say?
man,
Ooh.
woo-hoo-hoo. Well, you all have had it and heard it tonight with us here at the Empress Hour here on the Mighty Media TV Network, GFN Global TV. Boy, I'm so
so
flirted.
excited. Me too.
Woo!
I know.
Baby. But
I'm trying to
see,
see if it's an after party.
yeah.
I was
Oh, this
I was
going
ready
down.
to.
Is it an after party? What's that?
And twerking does give you superpowers. It really does.
And you
it
have
releases
to
it.
use them wisely, you know?
And positively.
Exactly.
Yes. Grow yourself, grow your family.
And that booty is a superpower too. And like I was just about to outro say, you know, you have to decide the type of energy and attraction that you want. And a room full of people, they're going to love that booty, but it's up to you to say, you know, what am I attracting? What do I choose to attract? And how valuable am I as a whole outside of this booty? You know?
Yes, absolutely. Well, I
'Cause I mean,
really
that thing,
appreciate
you know,
it. Yeah.
I
This is
love that
powerful.
thing, but you know, girl.
Yes. Use it wisely, baby.
Use it wisely and don't
It
hurt
is
us.
a weapon.
Don't hurt him. Don't hurt you.
Hey, that might be the new weapon of mass destruction.
Pop it.
Look at her.
Hey.
Drop it on it.
All
Miss
right.
Miss
Yes.
Sunshine's old man hit them weights and greased down. She on her way home.
Yes, she's coming
Going down.
soon.
Yeah, it's going down.
Well, thank you everyone for tuning in to us tonight. You have been tuned in to the Empress Hour with me, Shonda M. Parks, and I have been delighted to have my guest tonight, Sunshine Harris, already. Twerk Scholars. You can support me by going to purchase my book, ShondaMParks.com, Singing Like a Songbird.
No doubt.
And we will see you next time. Until then, peace and love.
Let's twerk it out. Come on.
Hey!
Look at you. Your style is so tempting. I came a long way. You see, there's no more pimping. I wanna play you close, yeah, close as you can get, and lick you down and get you hot and dry you off in your sweat. Now that body's so superb, the skin so soft, fellas biting so hard, you got the spraying with off. Psst. Yeah, the short fitting so tight, you got that look in your eyes to say you're just my type. Well, I want you so bad, well, I can smell you and taste you. I play it nonchalant, can't wait to get deep in your heart, and all my time you take up, be lost in that dream and don't wanna wake up. Well, later for that, I can't play myself cheap. I got to have you right now, cause when you dream, you sleep. Yes, girl, to make myself clear, my dear, I wanna cuddle up close and stick my tongue in your ear. Yeah, now ain't that something? Making circular motions and with some sweet nothings. I'm putting you on like a double knit sweater. I said I pull you close, I'll be damned if I sweat you. Cause girl, I got to have you like an addict, I fiend. You remind of the blind man, you remain unseen. You got class, got style, grace and flair. Don't do a thing. Girl, stay here and twerk it right here. Bring it over this way. This way, the other way. Yeah, there you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. Work it out, girls. Work it out. Come on. Work it out, girls. Work it out. Come on. Twerk it out. Twerk it out. Twerk it out. Twerk it out. Oh, baby. It's going down right here, the best in throwback hits radio. GFN Radio Soul. Make sure you tune in, download the app at the Google Play Store. It's GFN Soul NYC. It's going down right here. Make sure you tune in because this show will be played on Mighty Media TV. Make sure you tune in and check out all the shows. We got the ladies doing their thing. Hell, who needs a strip club? I got it right here, y'all. $25, you can get in right now. And to the Empress, all your X-Men that are dead now, because I know they can't keep up with you. Woo, she killing them. They be like Red Fox calling Elizabeth. It's going down. Just remember to tell somebody every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Central Time. The Empress Hour right here. It's going down. You never know what comes first or what's coming next. We may have a track star with one leg. We don't know. The Empress Hour. And your girl shouted out, Ashton. She said she'd love to come down to the studio, so we got to do something and get Ashton down here.
Yeah, because she is in Fort Worth.
Yeah, she said she'd love to come down. So thank you, and make sure you tune in next week.
How